Okay, ladies and gentlemen, my name's Kevin and welcome back to my shop, and we're going to be taking you know what down, but there's a few things, and I'm going to answer all y'all's comments actually in this video. We're going to go over each and every comment that y'all give about what happened to the motor. The bike does not belong to me. I'm doing it for somebody. We will fix the bike. It's not going to be an expensive thing. The big thing I'm looking at is, let's say you're using this for transportation back and forth to work. That's your only transportation to the store, what have you. And this happens. This motor had no runtime on it. I'm wanting to say probably an hour, maybe two. And this happens. And if you're using this thing for transportation, my heart goes out to you. I really do. This has to be disheartening. And this could, I mean, this could beat you down some. Don't let it do that. These things they are what they are, and you just have to fix them. But we're going to find out what it is. We're going to go through every comment. But first, I got the last video I posted about the speedometer. I've got something to say about it. Okay? I didn't know it, but it's in kilometers an hour. And when it was sitting on 60, almost 70 kilometers an hour, I was doing 42. It is accurate. And some people might not like the speedometer, but I can see exactly the miles or the kilometers, and I can figure it. And this is a little clip from that video showing exactly where that was. And we wanted to get that, but you have to admit, I don't care what anybody says, digital does not fit this. It has to have that particular look, I would think. And the cool thing is I've got 12 volts and I can access the backlighting, and it'll let me know when my light's on so I don't forget. Of course, you ain't gonna hardly forget on this one. But I use the same cable and everything that came with that cheap kilometer speedometer, and it works perfect. Alright, enough of that. And I'm closing in on getting this done. It won't be long. But now I've got to work on this other bike, so this is going to have to go on the back burner for right now. And here is the star of our show today. Let's get comfortable, and we're going to go over all the comments that y'all left. Alright? So yeah, we're going to go over all the comments. I'm going to read them off my cell phone. And I don't know if any more came in or not. All about bikes. Sideshow Realm Hopper. I think I got that right. Sorry this happened. Me too, but I'm glad it happened to me and not the owner of the bike. Johnny's Motorized Bikes. I love your reaction to it. Are you serious? Laughing my ass off. I feel your pain, brother. Now, Grandpa, in more serious note, I advise you would wear some shoes at least. I'm always so stressed out at the flip-flops. And do not dare say we don't look down. Well, don't look down. Make a video cutting the lower part of the video off. I did you one better than that. I put the comments block over my feet on the last video. Got you. Thanks for posting, brother. I'm looking forward to the teardown, and that's what we're doing today. That was a good one. Thank you, Johnny. Nova, vroom, vroom. Man, I feel bad that the motor locked up like that. Didn't totally lock up, but it sensed that it did. I thank you. Like I said, the bike will get fixed. It's just, I'm glad it did it on me and not him. Alright, Motorized Bicycles and Magicycle and Woodworking. Damn. Thank you for the ride. Looking forward to seeing the inside of the motor. Sorry it blew up. Fix to see that. Mike Miller. And you don't have to, you guys don't have to call me Mr. Kevin. Kevin. That's my name. Makes me feel old enough anyhow. I'm 66 years old. I don't need to feel any older. I appreciate your respect, but just plain Kevin's fine. Sounds great for a few, and I guess the same thing. The wrist pin release the clip. I'm liking. I like you. I always. I mean, he came out like you. I always tear them down. Make sure everything is right. Excuse me. You got one piston in backwards and it had an arrow on it. Everybody makes mistakes. Don't think you're the only one. In backwards, and all right, lots of laugh. At least you weren't far from home. The bike pedaled good though, but I wasn't far from home, and that is good. Okay. Jared D, you might be the only one right. I'm guessing lean conditions and high RPMs just to be different. Thanks for the video. Just end the question. Well, we're fixing to find out. And if it is lean conditions and it overheated and high RPMs or what have you, you'll be the only one that said that. Chad Stewart, I'll bet you're right. I'll bet you the circlips. That reminds me, I forgot to turn my G clips into C clips. I'm like James Picone on that. I go Wiseco CW10s. I just throw the damn piston and stuff away. I can't even get them out. So I've never had one fail, and that's what I use. They might be $10 a set. How much you think that's going to cost? But the G clip is a lot better because I like a lot of people have stated, that little piece of metal sitting up there doing this throughout all the RPMs tends to break and probably do this. C-clips on the iron sleeve 100, I definitely have some wrenching to do, and when the weather gets better. Glad you caught that. Mark Sturgill, after a few years of blowing 3 stock engines on 2 bikes, going through and checking everything. And absolutely, that's what I do. And I prefer buying cases and building the engine all the way up now that I've learned what I've learned. James Picone. Bro, that's gut wrenching, especially that being a new motor. And it is a new motor. There's probably 1 to 2 hours on it. And I'm sorry, bro, if I had to guess, main crank bearing or classic wrist pin clip walking out, or a piece broken off. Well, we're fixing to find out. And he also goes on to say that shouldn't have happened if you use the Wiseco CW10s. Absolutely, you are correct. And the Wisecos are a lot stiffer and harder to walk out at higher RPMs. They don't walk out at high RPMs, but you are absolutely correct. Next one, Otis Rush. Very good catch. He puts down there, he says it starts at 110. And at 110, you can literally hear it crack for the first time. That's a good catch. And I went back 2 or 3 times to listen to it, and that is definitely good job on that. Logan Wilson, that sucks. I've had one do the same thing, Phantom 85 version 2. Only one have had a broke piston ring, trashed the cylinder bore. Didn't learn my lesson from that one. I'm a slow learner. No, you're not. you're trusting people, and that's all you're doing. There's nothing wrong with that. Got the Phantom V3, and the piston sounds like a can of rocks shaking. I posted a video on how to fix that with a wrist pin, a 10mm wrist pin. I've had one in the Twisted T-Bike all this time, which I had a little chat session with Ken Henson. I hope I got his name. Really nice man. And I haven't had a fail yet, so you might want to look at that. Little Evil. I think it's a circlip broke off, I'm assuming. And you were probably very correct. That's a new post. That must have just came in. And Leonard Arola, okay, thanks for the ride. I was very glad to do it. And like I said, I'm glad it broke on me. Opie Zilla, this is never cool. I see it was a one-piece jug, which I have no experience on with yet, but your guess is probably right. But we want to know, and you are fixing to know here in just a few minutes. And that's it, guys. And thank you for the comments. Let's find out what it is. And by the way, I modified this pipe header and what have you. It never really did any good until Dave Amos from Motorized Bike Porting and Carb Tuning channel stated that this was 20mm ID. He said anything between 19 and 17, you're losing power. I put this on here. Y'all heard it. It started hitting. So, man knows what he's talking about. If you need any information, hit him up. Look at some of his videos. And when I say this engine has never been into, this engine has never been into by anybody. I just finished this. I recommended this motor because I've never had any trouble with it. The Nell Lusso has one of these motors on it. It's still running today. It's got hundreds and hundreds of miles on it. Never had a bit of problem with it. I know a lot of people on YouTube have run these little motors with no trouble whatsoever. But the little old thing was running good, and it had good torque and good everything. Yeah, look at that. All stock. Very hard to believe. For me, anyhow. I've really never seen anything bad with these motors. Let's take a look at the plug before we go any farther. See if it shows any signs of anything. Not really. Now, it looks a hair lean. Maybe Jared D's right. None of these bolts were tight. Not as tight as I get them. Never leaked though. Alright, here we go. Oh shit. Are you serious? I don't really see, this is kind of crazy here. I really don't see too much wrong with that cylinder. I gotta get a light. Huh. Aha, that got hot. It doesn't look that bad, but this definitely got hot. Huh. That's crazy. And you can't say it didn't have oil in it, because it's full of oil. Yeah. Yeah, that's good clean oil too. Huh! Get the heck out of here. going to go get a flashlight and we're going to inspect the jug. Something went through there. I don't know what, and that's a shame too. You know what? Look at all that around there. I bet you, and that looks like a piece of that broke off. How goddamn crazy is that? That's a damn shame. Now we can see right here, this is a bubble in the casting, and that's what came loose. The crustiness of this exhaust port is horrible. Cleaning it up, would you have caught it? I would think so. Not really sure, but that's what happened. There was a bubble in there and the top come off. And this is looking at the whole bottom of the exhaust port, and it was all pretty bad. And a good chamfer, I cleaned that up in a chamfer would have probably exposed that, and I still blame myself for this. But that's where the bubble was when it broke off. So we'll be looking on the inside here, and I wish I would have looked in there beforehand, because but I didn't want to. We've always had such good luck with these little engines, and I didn't want to open it up and this, that, and the other thing. And I'm kind of disturbed that it's got the small head bolts and everything else. And now I'm looking up in the cylinder at the spark plug hole, and they've got it around there too. Which I check all this with the other cylinders, but this one here was. But this little motor ran so good, and it had so much good torque to it. I'm thinking about cleaning this jug up and putting it back in there, buying a new piston. Now we're looking down at the top now, and you can see some pretty thin stuff right there. It's a shame. It was just a bad casting, and nobody bothered to clean anything up. But I guess they're not going to clean up every individual cylinder. Now this next picture here is one of the spots built up at the bottom, and that's probably what took out the rings when it lost compression and slowed the piston down so much and ate the piston up, and that's what caused the wrist pin to turn hot, because it was under such a load. If I'd have took this motor down, and can y'all see that? The stuff they left in there? Are y'all getting this? That is just crazy. And I'll bet you that piece right there broke off and went through there. That's nuts. Right there, right there, right there. So that's, yep, that's the exhaust side. So it basically got in there and welded it down there and heated up the, well, kiss my grits. Huh, that's unusual. I wish it hadn't have done it. Really, to be honest, change piston, I clean this up. The compression area is up there. But we're going to see what he wants to do. I don't know if these motors here, I know they got smaller and I can't find a jug for these. So if y'all know where I can get one, holler at me, please. That is just crazy. That little piece right there. If I would have just looked in there, I would have pulled that, put the clips in there. Well, nobody got this one. This is a new one. This is a new one here. That's exactly what happened. I'll be damned. Broke right there. And actually, I think it broke off at the top. Maybe not, but that does look like a piece where it broke off right there. That I'm taking the blame on this one. I should have looked at that, because you can see right there. That's just so sad. So I don't see anything down here. I don't feel no grit in there, but you can't take a chance on that. I'll go in there with some kerosene, K1 kerosene, and rinse it out, and then catch all the what drops out of there and see if anything's in there, and if something shows up, then I will be taking it apart. Well, that's it, guys. Hit like and subscribe. That's sad. And that is crazy. I should have looked at that. I should have looked at that. Right there. Right there is where it broke off. That's crazy. That could have been cleaned up. This jug could probably run again. Now, I want to know, this is a 47. And I don't think this is a 47. Yes, it is. Okay. You got some stiff spots in there. But the small, and I could make those bigger, that's no big deal. But I don't think the whole pattern is the same. Now this is a 6680, or whatever they're calling them nowadays. You know, that matches up, so I can buy another jug and a head and everything. So I thought the whole pattern would be different, but it's not. This is ridiculous. And maybe Jared D got it right. But that's the same gas I run in all my bikes, so I'm not. That broke off right there. That's too much damage for any kind of seizure, I would think. But let me know if you all seen this before. I'm a newbie. I haven't seen it before. bearings feel good in it and everything else. So y'all tell me what y'all think. Leave me another comment, because this only answers more questions, asks more questions. So I'm thinking that piece broke off in there. Y'all hit me up with what you think. Okay? And that thing was seized in there. Good. So, and like I said, that one fellow, I can't think of his name right now, he nailed it on the time. You could hear it. So, but it, something went through it. I'll guarantee you, right there in the middle, and it broke off. Might have been lean. Jared, he might be right. Y'all hit like and subscribe. Y'all have a good day. We'll get it back running again. I ain't worried about it. I could get a regular jug and put on here. That's the only thing. I thought it was a smaller configuration. So, y'all have a good one. Thank you very much for watching. And y'all ride safe. Don't do what I do.